Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Borough Radio. My name is James McIntosh, and it's just minutes until kickoff. Gosport will be hoping for a similar result to Hayes and Yedden, winning 3-0 after three consecutive losses. And as for Harrow, they come off an impressive victory against Sholin, and their lineup today sees Tyler Tobin starting goal, 2 Robbie Mafinda, 3 James Gertine, 4 Jack Tutton, 5 and their captain Reece Yorkie, 6 Harry Seabrook, 7 Harlem Hell, 8 Lonnet Talla, 9 Reece Deacon, 10 Excellence Mohemba, and 11 Reece Mitchell. And your Gosport lineup today sees Toby Stewart starting goal, 2 Harry Kavanagh, and your Gosport skipper today is number 3 Rory Williams, 4 Corey Jordan, 5 Christine Campbell, 16 Zach Sharp comes in for an injured Joe Morrison, 7 Bradley Tarbuck, 14 Jake Cope, 9 Dan Wooden, 19 Danny Hollins, and 18 Rafa Ramos. And currently the boys are just shaking hands with one another. Jeremy, we could have a big game on our hands today. Harrow at the bottom of the league. Gosport, well, we're looking for another win to add to our tally, aren't we?
Yeah, it's a dangerous one. Harrow have been on a really good run of form. It's a little bit like the last home game against Beaconsfield. Well, the previous one to that against Beaconsfield, they came here on a very good run and they did a number on Gosport on the day. So this is another dangerous one, but if Gosport quit themselves well, then there's no reason why they can't pick up the points. They just need to be respectful, no complacency, and go from there.
Well, last time we did play Harrow, it came on the 6th of February. It was a rearranged schedule, but Harrow, they took home the 3 points after a 2-0 win. It was Reece Mitchell and Reece Yorkie, so 2 Reeces on the goal sheet, and actually both starting today. So what can we expect from this Harrow team?
Tough game. Tough game. I'll be back with you in a sec.
Well, it's going to be Gosport shooting from my right to left and vice versa for Harrow. And for the fans tuning in now, I'll just run you through the teams one last time, starting with Gosport. So you've got Toby Stewart in goal, 2 Harry Kavanagh, 3 Rory Williams, 4 Corey Jordan, 15 Christine Campbell, 16 Zach Sharp, 7 Bradley Tarbuck, 14 Jake Cope, 9 Dan Wooden, 19 Danny Hollins, and 18 Rafa Ramos. So, yeah, I think it could be a big game today, like I've said a couple times. There's a lot of big games as well going in the Southern Premier League. I would have to say the biggest one must be the Salisbury Merthyr game. So it's a time for Gosport where we can pick up points, and it's a time where we can leapfrog other teams.
I think it just shows you how important it is to pick up the 3 points today because you've got two of our playoff rivals there. They're bound to one or the other or both. They're going to drop points. So you've got to get your own house in order, get the 3 points, and then hope the best result from those two would be a draw because then they both drop points, and then we would cut the gap ever so slightly to Salisbury. So Tottenham got it tough today. They're at Chesham. That's not the easiest either. So it's going to be a crucial day, I think. So let's just hope that Gosport can just deliver today.
Well, it's going to be Harrow kicking off the half with Totten. Yeah, Totten's going to be taking it. And like I've said a couple of times, it's going to be Harrow shooting from my left to right. But yeah, let's see what Gosport can do. We've had a couple of changes in the lineup today. One being Joe Morrison, who has unfortunately broken his collarbone, and that's a massive loss for Gosport.
It's huge, huge. There's no other word to describe it. And it's strange to see him sat down there in the director's box just in front of us rather than out there in the yellow and blue. But Gosport have had to improvise because Charlie Wassmer's still not quite there. He's not quite fit. Could be in the next couple of weeks, I understand it. But they've had to improvise the back today. That means Zach Sharp comes in and off we go.
Well, it's Harrow who's kicked off, and it's Yorkie, their skipper, hoofing one forward into Mitchell on the left-hand channel. And it's Harrow immediately on the tap, but Tarbuck does well just to hoof it forward back for Gosport. Dan Wooden trying to get on the end of it, but it's good defending there from Mafinda, and Gertine just lifting it into the Gosport half. It was originally Mahemba there trying to clear it and just trying to take hold of it, but Rory Williams, our skipper, did well there. And Christine Campbell now on the ball, just by the Gosport dugouts, trying to put a cross into Rafa Ramos, but it's headed away by Yorkie. One once again back by Rafa Ramos. He's got not Curtis Cumberbatch. He's got Campbell on the overlap, but no. It's back in the middle of the park once again with Harrow. Ball has been hit forward into Hell, but it's good defending from Roy Williams. Just getting in front of him there and winning the ball. But can Jake Cope keep it in play down this touchline? Jake Cope, he does well to pass it back to Rory Williams, despite having heavy pressure from the Harrow players. And the ball has been hit forward to Rafa Ramos, but it does go just out by the touchline. It's quite a fiery start from Harrow, looking quite attacking, despite only scoring. I think it's only 7 goals in the last 7 games, which isn't exactly a great attacking scoreline, is it?
Though, they've, I think it's. I can't quite exactly remember what the stat is, but I think they've only lost 1 or 2 in the last 7. So Yeah, let's not underestimate these guys. You know, they've come here full of confidence this afternoon.
Well, skirting with the throw in, and he does throw one forward into hell, but Gosport win it back. Ball being hit forward into Rafa Ramos, but Rafa loses it to Hell. Now Gosport on the attack thanks to a loose ball. Dan Wooden just trying to get on the end of it, but it's good defending from Mafinda, who hits it out, and it will be a Gosport throw. Around 20 yards out from the Harrow goal, and it looks as though it's going to be Campbell taking the throw in. Just a couple players moving around already, and a lot more Gosport players in the Harrow half. I believe every Gosport player is currently in the Harrow half, other than Toby Stewart. But it's Drake Cope on the ball at the moment, passing it back to Roy Williams. Now Danny Hollins in the centre of the park, pushing the ball forward into Tarbuck. Tarbuck playing it out wide into Harry Kavanagh in this right-hand channel, 15 yards out from goal. Kavanagh with a ball whipped in, but it's headed away by Mafinda, only as far as Jake Cope, just outside of the box. But it's well hit by Yorkie, and well, Harrow have won back possession only for a couple of seconds as Gosport win it back thanks to Roy Williams. This time Williams spits in the ball, but it's hit out by Harrow. Currently Taylor on the ball, lifting one forward, but it looks as though it's going to be closed down by Jordan, who heads it forward into Danny Hollins. Hollins does well just to push it forward into Harry Kavanagh. Harry Kavanagh this time going to put in a cross, and it is going to find the wrong of Campbell, but it just outruns him. It didn't look a bad cross there from Harry Kavanagh, just a bit too much power on it.
I tell you what, I want to see that all afternoon. That kind of football from Gosport. There was fluency, there was urgency, and up until that last ball, it was concise, it was precise, it was lovely. If they can carry on playing this way as they've started, then I think that they have got an excellent chance of going on to win this game. Harrow are boxed in at the moment, so if Gosport continue in this vein, then it's looking good.
Well, Hollins wins the ball, tries to chip it forward into Dan Wooden. Wooden is brought down, but the referee doesn't give anything for it. A lot of Gosport fans angry there. He was brought to the floor, but once again, I wouldn't say it was a foul where there was too much in it.
There wasn't too much in it. He feels there was, but the referee is the man who has the final say, and he didn't think there was anything doing. So we move on. You know, we've played just under 4 minutes, 0-0. Good start to the game in terms of entertainment.
Yeah, well, as you just said, it's 0-0, and I'll run you through some of the results in a minute, but we're just going to let play resume here at the AI Stadium. Rory Williams winning the ball back for Gosport as he lifts one forward, once again trying to find Dan Wooden, but it's been launched away by Mafinda, and it's gone all the way back to Corey Jordan in the Gosport half. Now, it's just a game of hoof in the ball, but this hoof is lovely from Harry Kavanagh as it picks out Rafa Ramos. Now it's Campbell in his left-hand channel, trying to run forward, but he's had to pass it back to Jake Cope as there was just too many Harrow players in front of him. Now Rory Williams in this left-hand channel, just in front of the halfway line in the Harrow half. Initially looking for a cross, he decides to go low with Rafa Ramos. Rafa down this left-hand channel, 20 yards up from goal. So Rafa tries to put in a low-driven cross, trying to find Bradley Tarbuck, but instead finds the Harrow captain in Yorkie as he clears it. And now maybe Harrow can attack thanks to excellence in Mbumba. But it's good defending from Zach Sharp. The man who has just come in, it's his first game for Gosport in a while. He has had a couple of cup games, but it's his first league game. And it's today where it's really do or die. He's got to perform. Otherwise, we could be losing some potential points, especially in the defensive areas.
Well, he is sort of the key central defender, really, along with Corey. So, yeah, there's a lot of responsibility having been placed on him so far, but not that he's been really asked a lot of questions of just yet, but he has got the experience. It's not as if he hasn't. So he shouldn't feel uncomfortable out there, I think is what I'm trying to say.
Well, Stan Wooden currently trying to chase down a ball, but it was good for defending from Serbuk. And another ball has been lifted forward, trying to find Mbumba. But Rory Williams just getting on the right side of him once again. And so far, Rory Williams, he's having a great game against Excellence Mbumba. And Gosport fans will be hoping it continues like that. But Hell has just won the ball back just on the edge of the box, passing the ball into Tutton. And he has to pass back to Mafinda as Bradley Tarbuck did good defending. And Jake Cope just coming in there, rescuing the ball for Gosport and exchanging passes with Campbell before Roy Williams can eventually launch one forward, trying to find Dan Wooden, but it's headed away by Serbuk, going out for a throw-in just by the Gosport dugouts. It's going to be Christian Campbell in his own half taking the throw-in, passing it into Rafa Ramos in the Harrow half. Campbell currently in this left-hand channel, trying to sprint forward, but once again, just good defending from Harrow and not letting him progress any further. Roy Williams lifting one into Dan Wooden, but it's a heavy touch from the Gosport veteran. But he's still done well to win a ball back, passing it into Rafa Ramos. Rafa Ramos goes for goal, and it's a brilliant save from Tobin there. Rafa, he was in a tough position there, still unleashed a good shot, and it was a good save from Tobin there just to keep it out.
That was going in. that was on its way. That was sort of bent up into the top left-hand corner. The angle was difficult, but shot was rising. Needed the save. Keeper made a good save, Tyler Tobin, and let's see what Gosport can do with this corner. It's as I said, a really, really promising start. If you're tweeting, I'll take it for you. James is just tweeting as his other role here at the club. So let's have a look. The corner's from the left-hand side, and Kavanagh's there. He's got company from Campbell, but I don't. He has played it short. Campbell then going to look for the cross. In it goes. Just over the bar. Now, did it come off a defender? No, the referee says not. Dan Wooden seems to think it did. So do I. So the referee just missing one or two little things, and Gosport Borough players just asking the question of the referee, Steve Hawkes. I think was a little bit of a boo-boo there from the official, but not that I like criticising officials because they are human beings. They make mistakes. 0-0 then. 7 on the clock so far. James, busy typing away. I could never type or tweet that quickly. I promise you that. So the goal kick is taken. Didn't quite reach the halfway line, but it will be no. It is a throw. So James, back to you.
Well, as you mentioned there, we did have a bit of a debate, didn't we, last Wednesday involving the cup run. You were doing the updates for me, and yeah, we got to a penalty shootout, and I must say that was quite enjoyable, wasn't it? But we should be hoping for another result like that. We've got a couple of semi-finals coming up, and I was saying to Mark Summerhill, it'll be interesting to see how they juggle it. But I may have to come back to that point as Gosport are on the attack. Rafa Ramos threading the ball into Campbell, but it's Serbuk once again getting on the right side. But Campbell does well enough just to win Gosport a corner. It was good, a bit of attacking play there from Rafa Ramos, feeding a good ball into Christian Campbell, and Campbell just doing well enough to win Gosport a corner there.
Forced the corner, just played the ball off the defender, which was a little bit savvy of him. So once again, another corner from the left. Let's see where it goes this time.
Well, for me, corners and set pieces, it's always been a problem where Gosport haven't really found success through it in the past, especially this season.
You need set pieces to bludgeon teams with, really. Here we go.
The ball has been hit into Zach Sharp at the front post, and you could see him making a move early on. Did make good contact with the ball, but just smashing one over the bar.
Yeah, the header. It was difficult because he made a run to the near post and found the angle he created for himself was hard, and he got his head right underneath it, so the ball just went right up over the netting and out of the ground. So it's another chance that Gosport have missed, but I have to say, on balance, the first 9 minutes, they've been the better side and they played some really good football.
But still 0-0, Gosport Harrow, and it's going to be Tobin with a goal kick after a good corner from Gosport with Zach Sharp heading wide. And the goal kick, it has just managed to found its way onto Mitchell by the looks of it. But it's good defending from Sharp, just shoving Hell off the ball, and it will go out for a Harrow throw-in. But it looks as though the referee's not happy. It was quite a high challenge there from Zach Sharp on Totten. And could we maybe see a yellow for the defender?
I don't think so.
It looks as though he's only blown up for a free kick.
I don't think so, but the trouble is that Gosport now have got to get their defensive thinking caps on. What are Harrow going to do with this?
Well, it's going to be Totten currently hovering over the free kick, so he's going to be the man taking it. Sony Campbell in the wall, so one-man wall, but let's be real, he's not going to go from a shot for here. It'd be quite audacious.
Unlikely.
But you have got some big Harrow players in the box, so it'd be interesting to see how Gosport can defend this.
Yeah, just be switched on. That's all you ask.
Well, it's Totten with the free kick, and it's not a great free kick, just going on the edge of the box, but it has worked its way back into the box. It looks as though it's going to be Totten trying to fire home, but it's won back by Christian Campbell. Maybe he can pace through here, just coming down this left-hand channel, doing well to keep it in, skipping past numerous players, and just unlucky he didn't have any reception, but still stayed in Gosport possession, with Bradley Tarbart currently in the centre half, passing it out wide into Harry Kavanagh in the right-hand channel. He's got Corey Jordan on the overlap, but passes to switch it back into the centre of the park into Danny Hollins, passing it out wide once again into Christian Campbell. Campbell might go for a cross, but instead passes it to Jake Cope, his fellow midfield partner. Back to Campbell. 30 yards out from goal. Back to Jake Cope. Got a lot of Harrow players surrounding him, but he does try and chip a ball into Rafa Ramos. Rafa just doing well to get on the end of it before Hale can eventually clear it. It was a good run there from Campbell, doing well to keep it in initially, and for me, he's been one of the star players since joining.
Having a good game today is Christian, and I'm impressed with him. But let's see what Gosport do here.
Well, Rafa was just in the box there, had to pass it back out into Williams, but a ball has been hoofed forward from Serbuk back into the Gosport half. Zach Sharp hoping to close Mbemba down. Mbemba coming down this right-hand channel, nipping past Zach Sharp, now in the box and doing well to put in a cross. just a bit too heavy hit, and Kavanagh should be able to clear it, and that's exactly what he does. But
Yeah, it was overhit the cross from Harrow there. It was the first sort of real glimpse of goal they've had this afternoon, but here they come again.
it's Mitchell coming down this left-hand channel. Can he get past Kavanagh? That's going to be the question. He's done well enough so far to deliver a cross in, and it just went against the face of goal there. There is a player down. I believe it could be Nhemba down.
Oh, yes, over near the perimeter ditch. Yes. Now, the cross itself went across the face of the goal. No one there to meet it, but yes, you're right. It is Excellence Mwemba who has gone down here, James. So, but he's off the pitch, so the referee will continue the game, I suspect.
Well, I don't even think the referee noticed it to begin with. He's only just blown up for the challenge, and it does look as though Excellence is in some distress.
Yeah, it is. I think he's gone. He's gone around the outside. Yeah.
And the Gosport physio also now coming round. So it could be quite a serious injury for the attacker. And why the injury is occurring, I will run you through some of the other Southern League results. But yeah, it does look as though the attacker is in some distress, and I will wonder if they are planning on making a substitution. I can't see any players warming up at the moment.
Being assessed, isn't he?
Mm.
Just watch for the signal back to the dugout to see. But don't forget, there's a perimeter ditch that runs around the pitch, and it's quite deep in parts. So if you go into it and you hit that board, the advertising boards around the side, you're going to feel
It
that.
is, yeah. Well, we saw it at Portchester when I was the media man for Portchester. There was a handball play, went straight into one of those advertising boards, and blooming hell, you could hear it from miles away.
Was there for hours, wasn't he? Yes,
Exactly.
I recall the incident well. And I remember one Portchester player not being particularly gracious.
And Williams just delivering a brilliant cross into Tarbart. And Tarbart with such a calm finish slots it past Tobin. And what a lovely goal that was. Kavanagh with the cross, whipping it perfectly into Tarbart. It was a tidy finish from the winger there. And what a goal that was. Jeremy will do the goal announcement in a minute. But what a goal. On the 14-minute mark, Gosport take the lead. You can see Gosport fans jubilant around the stadium. And it was just fully against the run of play. Following Mbemba going down with the injury, Gosport making the most of it. It was a lovely attack, and it's just showing how good the crosses can be. Well, I was just saying to the audience there, it's just demonstrating how good our crossing can be. It was Kavanagh with a cross, finding Tarbach, and what a tidy finish that was from the winger.
Just showed all his experience there, showed a lot of clinical precision. And Gosport, you've got to say, deserve that goal. They deserve it. And what will Harrow do now? Because they've been sort of outplayed so far in the first quarter of an hour, and Gosport do deserve the breakthrough. So now let's just see if Gosport can build on that and use that as a foundation block to go on. Now, Williams goes down now under a hefty challenge, and I have to say, he doesn't look good at all. He's holding his arm. In fact, he's holding his shoulder. So let's hope it's not another Joe Morrison, because that would be unfortunate, because Gosport's defensive players already limited. So Dan Wooden has gone to see his teammate and Olivia, the physio, with him, but just going to have to see how this transpires. But again, it was very similar to Morrison. Now, I think he's going to be okay. But it's very similar to the Morrison incident against Brockenhurst on Wednesday. And he's up. Seems to be okay. So fingers crossed he'll be able to shrug this one off, James.
Well, we will be hoping it's not another one of those Joe Morrison injuries. Fortunately, Joe, he did break the collarbone, and it did look as though it was quite a serious injury. He has gotten up though now, Rory, and we do hope him all the best, and we hope he can recover in the game. But yeah, it does look as though the fullback, he is in some distress, and he is currently coming off. Maybe he's just going to spend a bit of time off of the pitch, gives him a bit of time for rest and to recover. But yeah, got to feel for the Gosport captain. Play will still resume. Gosport are just going to have to play a couple minutes with 10 men. It's going to be Christian Campbell with a throw-in, trying to pass one into Rafa Ramos, who heads one back to Dan Wooden, the veteran striker. Currently battling with Yorkie, the Harrow skipper, for the ball. But Yorkie wins it, and as it goes out for a goal kick. And Rory, he's back on the field of play now. And let's just hope it's one of those injuries where it doesn't affect him. He is still currently, he's not looking in the best position in the world. I'd imagine it's just going to have to be one of those injuries where it's going to have to get better as the game goes on. But it's going to be Tobin with a goal kick. 16 minutes played here. Gosport 1, Harrow 0, and it all came because of a lovely goal from Tarbuck. It was Kavanagh with a cross, putting in a deep ball into the box. Tarbuck on the end of it with a tidy finish, controlled it brilliantly before eventually slashing one past Tobin, and that did give us the first Gosport goal. Now, so I do say that Gosport might be able to find another. Dan Wooden in the left-hand channel, trying to put in a cross into Rafa Ramos, but Tobin doing well, just coming out and collecting it. Calm goalkeeping from the keeper there. And Tobin, he's played 37 games this season, with his career starting in 2011. He's gone on to play for clubs such as Ashford for the next 7 years, but his first stint for Harrow came in 2019. So he's got a lot of experience, the Harrow keeper. But yeah, it'd be interesting to see what he can do as Gosport do hoof another ball forward, trying to find Dan Wooden, and Rafford once again trying to get on the end of it. Now it's Tarbuck currently battling with Mafinda. And the ball has been hit forward into Mahemba. But it's good goalkeeping there from Toby Stewart as he clears one out into Kavanagh, the man who got the assist moments ago. Still, Gosport 1, Harrow 0. Ball being played back to Roy Williams, and it is going to be chased down by Deacon here. But Roy Williams lifting one forward into the Harrow half, into Rafa Ramos. It's a heavy touch from the Portuguese. As it does go out, Yorkie does trip Rafa Ramos, and I'm surprised the referee hasn't blown up for a foul there, Jeremy.
Clumsy. I don't think he actually meant it. It was just clumsy. And yeah, it's just clumsy. I think that's all there was to that. Not much more to say on it, really. But yeah, we've played us around 18 minutes and Gosport value for their goal lead.
Well, it's going to be a throw in for Gosport just on the halfway line. Christian Campbell taking it. So far, with most of the throws, he has passed it to Rafa Ramos, and it looks as though this is going to follow the same procedure. This one not working its way onto Rafa, and it will go out for another Gosport throw in. Once again, it's going to be Christian taking it. Will he change it up, throwing it to Jake Cope? And he does exactly that. Jake Cope onto Christian Campbell. Campbell currently fighting with Yorkie and doing well to get a pass across into Jake Cope. 1-2 between Rafa and Jake Cope. Cope still coming forward before eventually passing it back. And it's gone back into the Gosport half with Rory Williams. Williams doing a low-driven pass into Rafa Ramos. Good vision to find Rafa. But once again, few options in front of him, forcing him to pass it back into Zach Sharp. Currently in the centre circle. Switching it out wide into Harry Kavanagh, 15 yards out from goal. Kavanagh passing it back into Tarbuck, the man who got the goal. Kavanagh just trying to escape Harrow players, and he's being forced back, but doing well to switch it into Roy Williams on the other side of the pitch, just near the dugouts. Williams trying to feed a ball into Rafa Ramos, and that's a lovely pass into Jake Cope. Jake Cope does go for a shot, but I think it was cleared rather than a save there.
Yeah, it wasn't a save. Harrow stopped playing because they thought he was offside, but the flag stayed down. The assistant on the far side, and he was onside. To be fair, so,
well, it lives up to that saying, "Play to the whistle," doesn't
exactly. It? And I don't think Jake knew that he was on there, because otherwise, surely he'd have just made more of the chance. But never mind. I'm impressed with the football that Gosport are producing. It's fluent. It's lovely to watch, and at the moment, Harrow are more or less spectators.
Yeah, I would have to agree. It'd be interesting if we could have some of those Sky Sports fat to tell us their possession.
We're not quite there yet.
Maybe in a couple of years. But it's Danny Hollins switching it out wide into Harry Kavanagh in the right-hand channel. Kavanagh looking for options. He's got Tarbuck on the overlap, but passes it forward into Jordan. Jordan whipping in the ball, and it falls to the head of Dan Wooden, but he can't get a good enough connection with the ball. But still with Rafa Ramos in the Harrow box. Rafa just on the left side, trying to put in a cross, but it goes straight into the side netting. But I still taking a nick. I believe it took a nick off of the Yorkie there, and it will be a Gosport corner. Christian Campbell taking it. Gives Gosport another chance to add a second goal. And to be honest, for me, Harrow just haven't looked in it whatsoever this game.
Not yet. They've had a couple of chances, but Gosport have played very, very well. And Harrow will just have to sort of just try and frustrate the hosts now and try and get back into it.
Campbell with the deep corner, finding the head of Dan Wooden. He's claiming there was a handball, but for me, no handball. I think he's being quite hasty there with the appeals. But play has resumed. Christian Campbell down this left-hand channel, trying to skip his way past Sedbrook. He's currently challenging just by the corner flag, doing well enough to win a throw-in.
Yeah, I'm impressed with Gosport the way they're playing at the moment. So, but they need to use their set pieces as a weapon to bludgeon Harrow with, really, because they don't look comfortable against Gosport set pieces, and I think they need to make the absolute maximum of it.
Christian Campbell still down this left-hand channel, just by the corner flag, having to pass it back to Rory Williams. Rory back to Cope.
Oh, they beat Tom.
Williams into Hollands, 20 yards out from goal. He's going to put in a cross, trying to find Dan Wooden, but instead finding Mafinda. But it's fallen to Tarbuck just outside of the box, switching it out wide into Kavanagh. Kavanagh this time might be able to deliver a ball. And I'm not sure. I think that one may have taken a handball, may have just hit an arm.
I think it did. I'm not quite sure where that hit, but it hit an arm. But I think it was more ball to hand because the defence tried to jump. An arm came up, the ball hit. So for me, not really anything to get too excited about.
Well, there were small appeals. It's going to be another short one into Christian Campbell with Kavanagh taking the corner. Hit out wide to Tarbuck, who might line up a shot, but instead goes for a cross. Finding the head of Dan Wooden, who heads it over. And once again, it's a good cross from Jordan, finding the head of Dan Wooden. I'm not sure what he's protesting for now. Unlucky there, just hitting it over the crossbar.
It was, I think maybe he's asked for the delivery to come a little differently to how it was, but it was a well-worked set piece. Very, very well executed. Wooden had the chance, but maybe it came at him a little too high. So, yeah, okay, but never mind. Gosport have the lead. They're playing well. And we've got, I reckon, easily about 800 to 900 people in this stadium this afternoon. Oh, you're tweeting, are you? Okay,
yeah.
Over to me then. So, I'm going to restart with a goal kick from Harrow's Tyler Tobin. It's going to go long and out to the right-hand side here. And Gosport looking to regain the possession, but apparently, they do. Here we go. So it's Tarbuck in the centre circle. He's got options on the right with Kavanagh, who now collects on the halfway line. He's just now opting to go back to Tarbuck, deciding he had nothing further forward to aim at. Gosport just gradually working the ball backwards, which is always disappointing, really, when you feel you've got better options going forward. But they do remain in possession. 1-0 Gosport, 24 on the clock. No bookings or such yet. Are you ready?
Yep, and then Christian Campbell on the halfway line. He's passing it into the centre of the circle, into Bradley Tarbuck. Gosport moving forward menacingly. Lots of Borough players coming forward. Kavanagh this time might look for a cross, trying to find Dan Wooden, but it's hit away by Benfinder. But Tarbuck, he's going to chase it down. And Tarbuck hasn't stopped running so far in the first 24 minutes. But it's Holland's in the central circle, whipping a ball into Christian Campbell. It's a good first touch, but just a bit heavy as it goes out for a goal kick. So far, I'd say my two star men of the game has to be Christian Campbell and, I'm not sure. For me, there's been a lot of star men in this game. A lot of people who've been excellent.
I would say, collectively, it's a good performance from Gosport. For Harrow, I'd say Ronnie Mafinder's having a good game at the back for them. He's playing very well. But it's lovely to see a collective team display. That's what Gosport have given us so far in these first 25 minutes, and they have the lead. So, yeah, I think I'm losing someone for a couple of minutes.
No, it's time for my jacket.
It's a little cold up here in the press box. But,
to be fair, it's a bit chilly today, isn't it?
There's a little nip in the air. But Gosport, over to you.
Well, it was a bit of tug and war there between the Gosport and Harrow players, but it results with Jordan trying to clear ball forward, and Rafa, he does get on the end of it, heading forward into Drake Cope, but it's one back by Mafinda in the half. But it's one back by Drake Cope, as I do say that. Bradley Tarbuck coming forward, switching it into the right-hand channel into Kavanagh. Kavanagh just by the right corner flag, having to hit it back into Tarbuck. Tarbuck, 20 yards out from goal. Passing back into Jordan. Jordan, he's got options in front of him, but chooses to pass back into Hollands. Hollands, playing it out wide into Rory Williams. Williams hoping to deliver a ball. It's another low hit one, but it's well dealt with by Mafinda, who clears it, but Williams might be able to get on the end of it and does well to touch it down into Christian Campbell. Campbell in his left-hand channel doing a couple of step-overs, trying to get his way past Hell, and doing just that, delivering a cross into the Dan Wooden, but it's just too far to hit once again. And Campbell, he's delivered a fair few crosses so far, and each one has been superb, and just unlucky not to find ahead of anyone yet. And Jordan might be able to run here. Jordan, switching it out wide, might find ahead of Rafa Ramos, who does look to turn, and he is chasing the ball now. Can he keep it in play? And yes, he does. He's got Rory behind him, and it looks as though they're going to switch. Rory He's going to pass it back into Danny Hollins. Hollins might be hoping to cross it, but instead passes back into Corey Jordan. Jordan back into Zach Sharp. The ball just being played around in the Gosport half, just by the halfway line. Hollins playing it low into Rory Williams. Still 20 yards out from goal. Williams threading the ball into Rafa Ramos just outside of the Harrow box. Just unlucky not to find his way past Serbrook there. But still doing well enough to win Gosport a throw-in. Jake Cope running towards Christian Campbell, the man taking the throw-in. But he chooses just to hesitate and instead throw it into Rafa Ramos. And now it's back to Campbell. Campbell passing it into Tarba.
That's
And
nice.
it's good passing play
That's
from
nice.
Gosport. Kavanagh on the outside of the box, inside the D, going for shot, but it's hit just towards the bottom corner. And in the end, it's a fairly easy save from Tobin.
Tarbuck had a better opportunity. He wanted too long, I think, to sort of shape to shoot. I think if he'd hit it the first time he received the ball rather than try and switch to his other foot, maybe. But yeah, it was sort of a curling shot. The keeper read it well. But again, Gosport still playing really, really well. I love it.
Well, I'll run you through some of the results, and some of them see Beaconsfield 1, Dorchester 1, Chesham 1, AFC Totton 0. Still 1-0 here at the AI Stadium, thanks to a Bradley Tarbuck goal. Hanwell 0, Bracknell 1, Hungerford 1, Tiverton 0. The Plymouth Hayes and Yedding game has been postponed. Salisbury 0, Merthyr 0. Swindon Supermarine 0, Hendon 0. Walton and Hersham 1, Didcot 0. And Winchester 1, Paultown 0. So a lot of
all
big
the
results.
go
Yeah,
our way.
exactly.
For the moment, that's what you want. That's the sequence of results that you would like come 5 o'clock today. Now, what's happening? I think Harrow have a free kick on the far side.
I believe it's Gertine taking this free kick. We haven't really seen too much action from the fullback yet, so it'd be interesting to see what he does. Still a lot of players lining up in the Gosport box, but let's see what they can do. 30 minutes played now here at the AI Stadium. Gosport 1, Harrow 0. But can Harrow add a goal? Maybe get back onto equal terms. Gertine with a free kick. And it's a long one, hit back to Yorkie. He does get a head on it, but it's cleared away by Gosport. And I believe a lot of Gosport players saying it did take a nick off. I think it took a nick off of Yorkie, they're claiming.
No.
But yeah, I was going to say.
Not for me. That was a Harrow corner all day long, and that's exactly what the referees awarded. So, yeah, you can appeal, but you're not always right. And don't forget, when you're out there on the pitch, you've got a fairly biased view of it. For me, and I'm 80 yards away, that was a corner.
Well, it's going to be Tutton taking the corner regardless. And he does deliver another far-fetched one. And it does find the head of Yorkie, who heads it over. And for me, it looks as though that's going to be the set piece throughout the game. It looks as though all the set pieces that Harrow are taking, they're being hit quite heavy. And they're aiming towards that back post.
Yeah, well, he's a big lad, isn't he? There, number 5, Reece York. And it's an obvious tactic. Sorry, it's not the 5. It's the... Just trying to figure out actually who it was, but no, he's a big lad. They're one of their centre backs, and yeah, it's an obvious tactic if you're in a set piece situation.
And Harrow still on the ball following that free kick. Yorkie hitting one forward, but is finding the feet of Rory Williams, and Rory passing it forward into Christian Campbell. Campbell just by the Gosport dugouts and working his way into the Harrow half, passing it into Rafa Ramos just slightly in front of him. It's Rafa with a deep ball, and it's easily collected by Tobin there.
It was Gertine. It was Gertine, the lad with the header who went over the bar. He must be sort of 6'5", 6'6", all of that.
Well, to be fair, they've got a lot of tall players, and I'm surprised it's not causing Gosport any more damage than what already is. Because so far, well, considering how we've been with set pieces in the past, I think we've found quite a bit of success through the set pieces so far early on.
Today.
And Hell is inside the Gosport box, going for goal, and that's a brilliant save from Toby Stewart. Just reaching to his right and tipping it out, and it's a good save from Hell there. Yeah. And yeah, Toby once again saving Gosport.
Well taken shot from Harlem Hell there for the visitors. That was on its way. If Toby Stewart didn't get a hand to it, that had just snuck inside that near post. So an important save.
Well, it's going to be a Harrow corner by the looks of it. I would imagine it's going to be the same man, Tutton, taking it. Yeah, Tutton going to be hitting it, and it is another hard hit one. Just can't find anyone as it fizzles back way to Dan Wooden, and Gosport might be able to break here. Dan Wooden passing it into Tarbuck, just taking a bit too long with the counter attack there. But I'm sure Gosport won't mind, just taking it easy.
Well, I think had Harrow equalised then Gosport would feel a missed opportunity, really, because I think on the reflection of the chances that they've had, they should be 2, maybe 3 goals in the clear. But that's not football. Sometimes you don't get what you deserve, and sometimes you do. But there you go. But Harrow just starting to find and feel their way into this game now. So now Gosport need to be mindful of the fact.
Well, Tarbuck on the halfway line. He's got Campbell on the left, free in acres of space, and he does look to choose that option. But Rafa instead takes the ball, and the flag has gone up. Rafa still hasn't realised. He's claiming it wasn't offside, but it did look as though he was just offside. Maybe
Yeah,
the foot.
obvious to me, and I'm sat up here. Yes, Gosport just need to be a little bit careful of the offside line when they're playing those long balls over the top.
Well, maybe it was a bit of Rafa Ramos there. He probably should have just left it to Christian Campbell. So maybe a bit of a wasted opportunity there. And it will be Tobin taking the goal kick, well, free kick, shall I say.
You're right there, but you need to let us through to get the door open.
And yeah, like I said, Tobin's just going to be taking the free kick. 33 minutes played here at the AI Stadium. Gosport 1, Harrow 0, thanks to Tarbuck goal. And play has resumed once again. Two's trying to get on the end of it, Mafinda, but Gosport once again winning it back, and we look so good winning it back. And this midfield has really improved since the start of the season. And it was a bit clumsy there from Totten on Tarbuck.
Play on,
Yeah, I was going to
the
say.
referee wasn't going to give that, so get on with the game. Don't look for things. It's just annoys me with footballers. Don't just play on.
Well,
if there's an obvious foul, the referee will give it.
I think Pat was a bit angry down there, but play has resumed. It's going to be Jake Cope running down this left-hand channel. Just in acres of space, but still no reception in the middle of the box. He has to pass it back to Christian Campbell. Campbell looking up, decides to go for a cross, but it's too heavy for Rafa, but it falls back to Kavanagh. Now Rafa just taking the ball off of Kavanagh. Hit back once again into Kavanagh, more space. Tarbuck with a muddy shirt now from that previous foul. But it's gone back into Rory Williams. Just next to the halfway line. And Gosport going to have to work out another attack with just multiple players in front of him. Every player currently back for Harrow. Rory Williams. Switching it out wide into Kavanagh. Kavanagh marching forward, passing it out wide into Rory. No, not Rory. Corey Jordan. Back into Kavanagh. Now Zach Sharp. Switching it wide into Jake Cope down this left-hand channel. And to me, it looks as though Corey Jordan, he's starting to occupy more of a right-back role.
Yes, they've had to sort of reshuffle the defence with Joe Morrison out, and that appears to be the outcome of that. But here we go now.
Well, Jordan, that man we were just speaking about, he did try and deliver a cross, and it's going to fizzle its way back onto Jake Cope, trying to dance his way past Seabrook and doing well just to pass it back into Danny Hollins. And it's gone all the way back into Zach Sharp in the Gosport half, just by the Gosport dugouts. Now being hit out wide into Jordan, now occupying this right back role. As we just mentioned there, Toby Stewart might be able to loop one, but instead passes it low into Rory Williams. Gosport, they're just kind of taking it easy now. It doesn't really look as though there's any rush within the Gosport players.
Hopeful ball forward there towards Kavanagh, but yeah, I don't want them falling into this pattern of lumping it forward route one, because we've seen that in the last two home games, and those were two home games that were lost. So let's just keep to what's worked so well. And that's twice I've done that. But let's keep to what's worked so well so far this afternoon, passing it around these defenders and looking for the openings with patience.
Well, Jordan, he's going to hit one far-fetched into Rafa Ramos. Rafa did try and get on the end of it, but did well enough to pass it back into Jake Cope. Jake Cope now coming down this left-hand channel. He's got no players in front of him, so he has to pass it back into Christian Campbell. You've seen it quite often in this game where Christian Campbell, he has got past multiple players and does find a lot of success coming through this left-hand channel. But instead, just not choosing to run and passing it back into Rory Williams. Back to Jake Cope. And Gosport just going to play it around from the back once again. Now back to Zach Sharp. Jordan just trying to work himself past into the Harrow half. And now Zach Sharp on the ball.
Yeah, the pace of the game slowed down, isn't it?
It's definitely fizzled out, hasn't it?
Yep, there was a high energy start, but it is definitely slowed. 10 minutes till the break, 1-0 Gosport Borough, I should say. We're all falling that trap. We've got two boroughs out there today, haven't we? But for me, that's a shame, because I like the high tempo, high energy game that they're playing.
Well, Rafa Ramos, he is currently trying to chase down a ball just near the left corner flag and does well enough just to win Gosport a corner. It's going to be Christian Campbell running to the corner flag, hoping to take this corner. So let's see what Campbell can do here.
Well, let's see. Like I said, set pieces have been a useful weapon for Gosport so far this afternoon. Let's see what they can do with this one.
Well, you can see a couple players already lining up, and it looks as though they've started to establish a new tactic now for corners.
Don't go short this time, though.
Yeah, it looks as though they are going to hit a long one into the box. Trying to find Jordan. Jordan can't get a good connection with the ball, but Rafa's still coming out to collect it and working his socks off today, but has been smashed away by Mafinda there. Tarbak on the halfway line, lifting another ball forward, but is headed away by Yorkie.
Dealt with well by Brad Tarbart
Yeah.
there. He had to improvise a little bit in the centre circle because he was the last man. So if the ball had gone over his shoulder and into space, he had a runner on his left-hand side. That could have potentially been very, very dangerous for Gosport. But they're the home side building again. Let's see what they can do this time, huh?
Well, Jacob just on the halfway line. He did have Christian Campbell in front of him, but chose to pass it back into Roy Williams. Still in the Gosport half. 35 minutes played here at the AI Stadium. Still Gosport 1, Harrow 0. Let's hope it stays that way into half time. But Kavanagh in the right hand channel, passing it back into Jordan. And for me, it's a game where both sides were probably looking to go into the half, maybe 1-0 down. Because let's be real, if Harrow are 1-0 down, it's not going to matter too much. But Jake Cope, he is on the ball and does try and pass it back into Wooden there. Williams might be lining up a shot, and he does do that. And I'm not sure if that was a shot or a cross or
That
not.
was a cross looking for the runner down Wooden, and it nearly found him. Wooden arrived, but couldn't quite connect. Now, if he'd have got his head on that,
Well, we've seen it multiple times in
Yeah.
this game. Williams' vision looks incredible, and it's probably his age that helps with it as well.
That's the player
Yeah.
he is. He's always been that kind of player. We're getting the 50-50 result today.
No, it's not.
Well, we have just heard the 50-50 winner,
Shake him up.
so I would imagine that be getting announced into the stadium. But Gosport just trying to work themselves back into the Harrow half.
Should have been this one.
And it's going to be Rory Williams with the throw-in just by the Gosport corner.
That's good, though. And then you've had sort of 244 people buy tickets.
A lot of Gosport players moving in front of him, but Williams still just hasn't taken his throw-in yet. Lifting one forward into Rafa Ramos, and it's fallen into Christian Campbell's path, and it's gone out for another throw-in. This time it's going to be a Harrow throw-in. Yorkie hovering over, and he's going to be the man taking the throw-in. Yorkie with the throw-in. Trying to find Deacon there, but Rory Williams just having a battle with Deacon. The flag has gone up, and it looks as though it's going to be a Harrow free kick around 20 yards out from goal, right near the touchline. So they're not going to line up a shot. It's going to have to be a cross. Does look as though Christian Campbell has gone down, which isn't a good sign for Gosport.
No, it really isn't. They can't afford any more injuries at the moment.
Especially not a player of Christian Campbell's calibre. But it's going to be Totten taking the free kick. Still, Christian Campbell, the one-man wall. Like I said, it's going to be impossible for him to score from this angle. He's going to have to go for a cross. Yeah.
Look for the runners like Gertie's gone up again. He's where the danger is going to come.
Well, by the looks of it, Rafa Ramos, he's marking that player now.
Well,
So it looks as though, exactly,
So
they have noticed that and they have decided to switch up. But it's Totten with a free kick. And it's been hard hit, punched away by Toby Stewart. And it's fallen to Hell, who lines up a shot. And it has taken a ricochet as it does go out for a Harrow corner. I believe it was Jordan there with the deflection out.
Well, he did what he needed to do there. And Harrow having their best spell of pressure of the afternoon so far. And they'll be looking to make this count with sort of 6 minutes till the break. But they are, I said to you about 5 minutes or so ago, they are finding a way into this game. And all the while it's 1-0, they will have a chance.
Well,
Gosport
yeah.
2.
Game would, I wouldn't say finished yet, but
finished,
for the
but
half
it would have been
finished,
harder.
yeah.
And it'd be harder to gain some momentum.
And it's Taylor with a cross in, but Kavanagh just doing well enough just to dispossess Mitchell on the ball. Now Tarbak trying to get on the end of it. He does bring Totten to the floor. Referee doesn't think anything of it, and Hell is now in the left-hand channel trying to lift in a ball. And he does find excellence in Bemba. Hollins trying to dispossess him, and it is good sandwiching from Gosport there. Jake Cope and Danny Hollins sandwiching the player and winning it back for Gosport. It's going to be Christian Campbell coming down this left-hand channel. He had Rafa on the left of him, but chose to pass it centralised into Jake Cope. Now Hollins trying to lift the ball into the run of Tarbak. Tarbak's battling to win it back, just unable to win it, and he is protesting for a penalty. The referee has blown up.
Free kick.
But yeah, it's a free kick. And
now,
I'm not sure.
What happened there? I'm not entirely sure what's happened there.
I believe it could be something to do with Tobin, the goalkeeper, the way he came out and collected
Did he
it.
handle outside the area?
No, because it's an indirect free kick.
No, wait, it must be a back pass.
Yeah.
Then, because if it's an indirect free kick inside the area, he's obviously handled from one of his own players. So that's what's gone on.
Well, you don't normally
that's
see
why
these within
Tarbuck-
football.
That's why Tarbuck appealed straight away. So that makes sense now.
Well, once again, it's going to be hard to score from this angle when you're that close, especially. But they're just having discussions now between Tarbuck, Jake Cope, and Christian Campbell. Maybe even Rafa trying to get in the conversation. But it does look as though Tarbuck's going to be the man hoping to take it. Or maybe Kavanagh even.
I don't think that's the angle. I think you need to. Ramos is there, and you've got Campbell in a little bit of room and Cope. So maybe slide it across. It'll take the defenders a few seconds to get to him. Slide it to Cope and let him have a shot.
But that could be the strat. And we saw it in the Euros. And it has been taken, but it's well defended there from Mafinda, who blocks it out. And it's one of those challenging free kicks where you can't really score it. It's more a guaranteed corner, if anything.
You don't really. It's hard to see how that works. Because even with the wall still 10 yards back, you can't get the ball up and over it. You just haven't got the space.
But it's going to be Kavanagh with the corner. Once again, hit towards the near post, but Dan Wooden heads it over. And as we were just discussing there, indirect free kicks, they're a strange element of football, shall we say. We did see it with the Netherlands in the Euros. I'm not sure if you remember that far back, but that's still quite a good indirect free kick. Won in the game in the final seconds, I believe.
Showing my age here now, but I remember the season where the back pass rule was brought in 1993, and it caused utter confusion and utter chaos. And that's where those direct free kicks came in. Was a keeper handled a back pass, didn't matter where it was. That's when the rule came in, and that first season, nobody knew what to do. But now, of course, all these years later, it's part and parcel of it. But if you get a free kick like that, is it more of a curse and a blessing?
Yeah, I would say so. It's definitely strange. But it's going to be Tubman with a goal kick now. And Gosport, they're going to hope to get, I would imagine, one more attack. Looks as though they're closing the gates underneath, so I can't imagine there's too many minutes left of the half.
About 90 seconds left, plus whatever the referee's going to add, so we need to keep an eye out for the board.
Well, the ball is just currently being played in the centre of the half. Well, not the halves of the pitch, sorry. And Christian Campbell doing well once again, using his pace to keep it in play. But he does have to hit it forward, and Mafinda finds it. Now Harrow just playing it, trying to find a ball into Excellence Mbemba. But it's gone out for a Gosport throw, and it's going to be Rory Williams by the looks of it taking the throw in. Like I said, we really don't have much time left in this game as the referee looks at his watch.
No, that's we've got literally about a minute left now, so we're waiting to see how much is going to add on. Possibly 3 minutes, I would suggest.
I would say that's a fair guess. 3 or 4. We've seen it quite regularly this season with that time region being added on. But let's see if Gosport can do anything before the half does finish. Or maybe Harrow might even be able to add a goal, maybe get back onto level terms.
They would like to think so.
I suppose that would be gutting for Gosport. And the board is just about to be produced. 2 minutes added on.
Ladies and gentlemen, the referee
Not as much as we originally thought, but I'm sure Gosport fans will be happy with that. As the ball just being currently played 30 yards out from the Harrow goal, it's going to be Christian Campbell taking the throw in. 2 minutes left to play. Gosport 1, Harrow 0. Jake Cope passing it back into Zach Sharp. The question is whether did they waste half time, or did they go for another attack, try and get it too? Zach Sharp passing it forward into Corey Jordan, just 10 yards into the Harrow half. And Gosport, they're just looking a bit tired, maybe starting to take their time, kill those precious seconds left of the half. Rory Williams, he has got Christian Campbell in front of him, but chooses to pass it into Danny Hollins in the central circle. Back out wide into Jake Cope. He's got options moving in front of him, but chooses to pass it back into Rory Williams. Williams putting a low-driven pass into Tarbuck. But once again, still in the Gosport half. Out wide into Kavanagh. Kavanagh trying to battle his way through. And does well to pass it into Tarbuck and back out wide into Jordan. And it looks as though there's just a triangle of passing currently going on. And Gosport, they're not really looking too menacing going forward. And as I do say that, Danny Hollins does lift the ball into Campbell. And Campbell does well to get on the end of it. And Howell has to hit it out for a Gosport corner.
Well defended from Harrow. They saw the threat coming there and they reacted. That was a decent ball over the top, actually. Let's see what Gosport can do. We've got about a minute, the two added, to play.
Well, let's see what Gosport can do here. Always the question: do they go for a bit of time wasting, maybe keep it near that near
No point at
post?
this stage. You just want to get the ball in the box, don't you?
Mm.
All that jazz comes at the end of the game, not at half time.
Campbell with the corner, trying to hit in the near post, but it's been headed away, only as far as Tarbuck on the outside of the box. And he passes it into Roy Williams in the central circle. Williams delivers across into Jake Cope in the left-hand channel, 15 yards out from goal. Now Christian Campbell owns the possession. He's still got a lot of Harrow players in front of him and unable to get a pass across. But ball has been worked his way into Rafa Ramos just inside of the Harrow box, and he is brought down to the floor. Rafa not protesting for anything and doing well just to get another. No, not getting a throw in. It's going to be a Harrow throw in.
Yeah, there was nothing to protest for there. Just two players coming together, and we've got about 15 seconds left of the 2 minutes added. So that is more or less that, I suspect.
Yeah, I would say
for
so.
this half. So it's been a good first half for Gosport. They played very, very well. Harrow finding a foothold after the half-hour mark, but I think Gosport will be happy with the 1-0 lead that they have.
And the referee just about to blow his whistle, and that will be it. The half does finish here at the AI Stadium. Gosport 1, Harrow 0. And it did come from a Bradley Tarbuck goal. It was Jordan with the cross just inside of the Gosport half, delivering the cross into Tarbuck just inside of the Harrow box. Tarbuck with a lovely first touch before eventually executing a shot, putting a shot past Tobin and giving Gosport the 1-0 lead. And before I do cut off, I will go run you through some of the results. So some of the results in the Southern Premier League see Beaconsfield 2, Dorchester 1, Chesham 1, AFC Tottenham 0, 1-0 here at the AI Stadium, Hanwell 0, Bracknell Town 1, Hungerford 1, Tiverton 1. The Plymouth game has been postponed, and a big result for Gosport will be that Salisbury game, and it is Salisbury 0, Merthyr Town 0, Swindon 0, Hendon 0, Wootton and Hersham 1, Didcot 1, Winchester 2, and Pooltown 0. So a lot of good results, and it's currently all going in Gosport's favour. But will it be that when it comes 5 o'clock? Well, we have to see. But I'll see you in the second half, guys. And like I said, it has finished here. Gosport 1, Harrow 0. Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the second half commentary of Gosport versus Harrow. Gosport, they went into the second half with a 1-0 lead, thanks to a goal from Bradley Tarbuck. It all started with a cross from, I think it was Corey Jordan, I can't remember now, but it was Jordan with a cross, whipping a lovely ball into Tarbuck inside of the Harrow half. Tarbuck with the cool, calm finish, collecting the ball and finishing really well. A lovely finesse ball pass, and that has taken us into the 1-0 lead. But by the looks of it, both teams are starting to come out now, and it looks as though there's not going to be any changes. But I'll run you through both teams. Oh, there is a change, sorry. It's going to be 15, which is Ibrahim coming on for unknown yet.
Right, let's count the numbers up then, James, to see who's not out there.
Well, by the looks of it, it could be their striker. I haven't seen him come out. Deacon, number 9 Deacon.
The 10's out there, but yeah, okay, we need to have a look. Hopefully they'll do the board for us.
Yeah.
That would help.
Well, the Gosport players, they're also coming out. They definitely haven't made any changes so far. So it's pretty easy to recognise the Gosport players. But like I said, it will be Ibrahim coming on, but yet we are yet to see a scoreboard.
I can't see a 9 out there.
I think it must be Deacon, yeah. Deacon coming off. So I'll get that changed to my scoreboard now for everyone watching. But it will be Ibrahim coming on. So it will be an attacking change for Harrow, and they do need to get a goal back. Yeah. Well, yeah. Well, I'll run you through the new team now, starting in goal. So, number 1, Tobin in goal, 3 Gertine, 2 Mafinda, 5 Yorkie and their skipper, 6 Seabrook, 11 Mitchell, 4 Totten, 8 Thaler, 7 Hale, 10 Mbemba, and 14, and who's just entered the pitch, is Ibrahim. And your Gosport lineup today sees number 1, Toby Stewart in goal, 2 Harry Kavanagh, 3 Rory Williams, 4 Corey Jordan, 15 Christian Campbell, 16 Zach Sharp. Oh, it's 2 coming on. So, yeah, Deacon is on. Yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen, Harrow,
never mind, it's Mafinda coming on.
Coming on is number 15, Nakeem Ibrahim, replacing number 2, Ronnie Mafinda.
Well, I'm not sure why they've made that choice, because I thought the defender was actually having quite a good game personally, but it must be an attacking change, so it will be interesting to see how this affects his game. But will be 15 Ibrahim coming on, and it looks as though he's going to be occupying this right wing position, maybe right mid, rather than having a centre back. And it does look as though Harrow, they have dropped back to a back 3. Still, Gosport kicking off, shooting from my left to right, and Harrow vice versa. And Jordan has just lifted the ball, trying to find Rafa Ramos forward. And Zach Sharp, already Gosport under a lot of pressure. And it is Excellence and Member on the ball, trying to track it back, and he has been brought down. A lot of fans not really happy, especially those Harrow fans, but the referee doesn't give anything for it, and that's a good bit of refereeing there. Maybe a bit of Gosport bias inside of me, but no, it didn't really look like a foul. And so I do say that it's Gosport applying heavy pressure now to Tobin, the Harrow goalkeeper. It was down with him with the charge down, but Tobin does well just to clear it forward and clear his lines. And excellent Sembemba now on the ball, just down this right hand channel, skipping past numerous players, and does well to pass it on to the new substitute, Ibrahim, who does deliver a ball, trying to get in, and does well enough just to win not Gosport, Harrow a corner there. And it looks as though the new substitute, Ibrahim, he's not had a bad start to the game so far, already winning a corner.
I actually think it's a formation change, if I'm honest.
Well, Harrow, they've dropped back to back three by the looks of it. You can't really see it now with the formation, but because of the corner. But no, for me, I think they have gone back to a back three. But has done well enough to win Totten a corner. So it's going to be Totten taken, hitting towards the back post once again, finding Yorkie, who headers over, and in the end causing no threat for Gosport as it's smacked miles over the Gosport bar. And once again, it was a corner hit to the back post, and we've seen it quite a few often. So they're still finding success for it, and I wonder if Pat and Joe were talking to the players about it.
My concern, if I was Pat or Joe, is the fact that Harrow found a foothold in the game after half an hour, and they actually did start to threaten a bit towards the end. And they've come out full of energy in the second half, and that's a statement of intent. So I think Gosport need that second goal sooner rather than later, to be honest.
And currently it's 11 Mitchell on the ball, but Corey Jordan doing well enough just to get on the end of it. He has gone down, taking a tumble, but immediately getting back up. Although he is holding his back, which maybe isn't a good sign, but I think it's just a bit of a tumble from where he's fallen. And it has been a throw-in taken. Hollins on the floor trying to win it back for Gosport, but Harrow's still going forward. Deacon trying to pass it out wide into Mitchell, but Kavanagh's doing well just to win it back as he does clear it out wide. And it will be a Harrow throw-in. By the looks of it, it's going to be Tutton taking the throw-in once again. Oh no, it's not going to be Tutton taking the throw-in. It's going to be Gertine taking the throw-in. He's just telling all the players to get inside of the Gosport, inside of the Gosport box. So he must have fairly decent throw-in. That's quite good power from the throw-in there. But in the end, it doesn't cause any threat for Gosport as Toby Stewart comes out to collect it. But yeah, the ref, he's blown up for a corner. It's going to be Tutton taking the corner. By the looks of it, it just took a small deflection off of Harry Kavanagh when Tutton went for the shot there. So it will be a Harrow corner. The referee blowing for something in the middle. He doesn't like it. I believe it could have been... Yeah.
Pushing and shoving, James, nothing more. But it's going to happen in this situation.
Well, all the Harrow players, they're just all in one section at the moment inside the Gosport centre box. A ball has been drilled in, hit once again towards the back post. And Mitchell has done well enough to get on the end of it before Gosport can eventually clear it. Rafa Ramos being that man. He is brought down, just being scissored to the floor there. And the referee is going to be plucking out a card, and I would imagine that will be a yellow. Yeah, it's going to be a yellow for... I'm not sure. Maybe it's not a yellow for Mitchell.
Who's he giving that to?
But that was very vague, that was. He just showed it.
I'm not even sure who's got that.
He could have very well given that to three players there. It wasn't the clearest.
I think it's the lad he's with now, the 6.
Yeah, so if it was 6, that would be... 6 would be Serbuk. But play has resumed with the Gosport free kick, and it's been headed away by Tugwell into the Gosport dugouts. Patsaracci just catching it and throwing it forward into Harry Kavanagh. Kavanagh might be able to hope to take a quick throw with Dan Wooden making a run. Wooden does pass it forward and back to the right back. Now Harry Kavanagh cutting inside of his man, nipping inside of the Harrow box. Now Tarbart delivering across, trying to feed it one into Jake Cope, but it's fiddled its way back into Dutchy Hollins. Now Kavanagh trying to put another ball in, and this one's been cleared away by Ibrahim, the substitute. Flag has been raised as it has gone out. It will be Harry Kavanagh taking another throw in. Tarbart making the run, and he does receive the ball. Passes it back into Harry Kavanagh. Now Jordan, 25 yards out from goal, passes it back into Sharp. Sharp, forward into Hollins. It's been hit all the way back into Toby Stewart. 7 minutes played of this second half. Still, Gosport 1, Harrow Borough 0. Toby Stewart launching the ball forward into Harry Kavanagh, once again in his right-hand channel, but it's won back by Gertine as it does go out for a Harrow throw-in. It's a good bit of play there from Gertine, just dispossessing Harry Kavanagh, making sure he can get on the end of it. Gertine, he's been a bit of a menace in the first half, and he's continuing where he left off. And he's going to be the man taking the throw-in. Launching one forward. Must say he's got a long throw in, but Jordan gets on the end of this one as he heads it forward, trying to find it into the path of Rafa Ramos. But once again, it's being cleared. An excellent Mbumba might come and try and control it, and he does do well just to get on the end of the cleared ball, side of the Gosport half. Now Ibrahim, the substitute on the ball, passing it into excellent Mbumba. He did have Hale in front of him, but he's on the ball, and Mbumba passing it into Hale, and he has been well dispossessed by Danny Hollins, but the referee does blow up for a foul. Wasn't much in the foul, if I must say, but yeah, Hell has gone to the floor, and as a result, Harrow have been given a free kick. It's going to be Tutton once again with a free kick. A lot of players lining up. Still, Gosport 1, Harrow Borough 0, thanks to a goal from Tarbuck in the first half.
Yeah, now Harrow, I think, are going to really try and use this as I say, as a weapon to try and get back into this game. And let's see what happens. Well, they've got a player offside here. What's that all about?
Yeah. Oh, that's strange. I've not seen this tactic before.
No, I don't get it, actually.
But the free kick still has been taken. It hasn't worked its way onto the man who was offside. Although he has been heavily linked, as Toby Stewart does go to the floor, and the referee does give a free kick. Oh no, he's given a corner. Well, I'm surprised at that, considering Toby Stewart was the man brought to the floor. But either way, you can't argue with the referee. Ultimately, he is the man who has the final say. And it will be Harrow with the corner. It's going to be Tutton, the man taking it. Pat Srirachi and Joe Lee are sending a couple of players warming out. One of those players being Finn Wolfsmith, another being Harvey Root. Both players who played in our last game on Wednesday against Brockenhurst. So I wonder if they could come on. But it's going to be Tutton with the corner. And it's headed away by Zach Sharp, who gets on the end of it, still battling just outside of the Gosport box. Once again, it's being headed away by Bradley Tarbuck, and now Dan Wooden trying to chase it down, but losing it into Hell. Hell now running forward down this right-hand channel, switching it into the centre of the park. Now Mitchell coming forward menacingly, doing multiple step overs and leashing a shot just wide of the left post. And it looks as though it was creeping towards. It had a lot of curl and could have very well gone towards that left bottom corner.
Yeah, Gosport need to get the momentum in the first half back here, because Harrow have come out all guns blazing, and credit to them for doing that. But Gosport need to get that momentum back and try and get this second goal, settle them down, and we'll see. Are you tweeting?
Yep.
Right, that's fine. I shall help you out then. Long ball over the top, aiming for Ramos, but a header away there from Lonit Tala. But Gosport come again. Here's Ramos down the left. He's got a run from Wooden. The ball has gone out for the goal kick. I thought possibly a shout of a corner, but the concern for me is how much steam has gone out of this Gosport Borough team since the half-time interval. We've had just shy of 9 minutes in this half. It's still 1-0 to Gosport Borough, but Harrow are the momentum team at the moment, I think. And now a goal kick from Tyler Tobin gets this game back underway. It goes long, drifting out to the right-hand side. A lot of grappling between the various players who are competing for the ball in the air. Gosport go long down that left-hand channel. Here's Ramos. James, are you back with me?
Yep, I'm back as it's Rafa Ramos dancing his way past and does well to get into the Harrow box as it does take a nick, and the referee doesn't give a Gosport corner despite it clearly coming off of the feet of Yorkie.
Yeah, that was a corner, I'm afraid. And the ref's not had a bad game, but he has made one or two little mistakes, and that was
Well, both coming in this half, I would say. Yeah,
because that was clearly a corner.
Well, the Gosport fans behind the goal, they definitely weren't happy involved in the situation. But either way, it's giving Tobin a chance with a goal kick here. Maybe a chance for Harrow to get a goal. And that is a long goal kick. But Jordan get on the head on it. And Gosport might be able to break it with there not being too many Harrow players currently in their own half. Kavanagh marching forward, coming down this right-hand channel. He's got Tarbuck to his right, but chooses to go alone. Now he has passed it into Tarbuck, just not getting on the end of it, Tarbuck, as it does go out for a Gosport throw-in just by the right corner flag. Kavanagh hoping to take an early throw in. Tarbuck is running towards him, but just taking his time now. And instead, Dan Wooden might run towards him, and he does choose that option. Dan Wooden passes it back into Kavanagh. Kavanagh into Jake Cope as he lets it run into Danny Hollins. Now back to Kavanagh in the right-hand channel. Kavanagh delivering across, trying to find someone in the middle, but instead it fizzles its way back into Christian Campbell. He's going to have to chase it down and doing well just to make sure Hale can get on the end of it and create a counter-attack. Now Campbell taking a quick throw and passing it into Danny Hollins just in the centre of the Harrow half. Now it's gone back into the Gosport half. It's going to be Deacon chasing it down with a charge down, but Toby Stewart under no real pressure there as he passes it forward. And Corey Jordan now on the ball. He's got Kavanagh making a run in front of him, and he once again Gosport are coming down this right-hand channel. He's got Jordan behind him, and he will choose that option. Maybe Jordan can deliver across, but instead passes it into Jake Cope. Cope into Hollins. Hollins passing it into Rafa Ramos just outside of the Harrow box. Now Campbell coming down this left-hand channel. Multiple step overs once again, using his pace as he delivers the ball. Just can't find the feet of Danny Hollins there, but still, Campbell does well to win it back for Gosport. Campbell just outside of the Harrow box. Now Tarbuck on the ball. And Tachi Hollins, he's fouled just outside of the Harrow box, literally on side of the box. And the referee, as we do say that, he's giving the foul the other way.
He's making some strange decisions. I'm sorry. Okay, you try not to be biased, but there's a couple for Harrow that he's missed going the other way. But it's it was Stonewall. Sorry.
Well, yeah, you do have to wonder. The referee today, I'm just trying to find the name of him. The referee, Stephen Hawkes. To be honest, I can't say I've heard of him. We haven't seen him at too many Gosport games. But either way, he's given a free kick for Harrow, and it will be Tobin taking the goal kick. I will run you through some of the other results in the Southern Premier League while the free kick is taking place. So some of the other results see Beaconsfield 2, Dorchester 1, Chesham 1, AFC Tottenham 0, Hanwell 0, Bracknell 1, Hungerford 1, Tiverton 1, Salisbury 0, Murphtown 0, Swindon 0, Hendon 0, Woolton and Hersham 1, and Didcot have just scored, making it 1-1 in that game, and Winchester 2, Pooltown 0. So still, all the results still favouring us. We just need to keep the 3 points here at the AI Stadium, as it is still Gosport 1, Harrow Borough 0. But Gertine is currently taking a throw in just on the opposite end near the Harry Mitson stand, delivering the ball into the Gosport box. It has taken a nick, and I do believe it's gone out for a Harrow corner.
And
that's exactly
correct.
Yeah.
This time. So yes.
Well, it's going to be Totten taking the corner. I would imagine it's going to be the same tactic of hitting a ball towards that back post. And that's where all the players are currently lining up, involving their tall captain, Yorkie. And it does look as though the ball is trying to work its way onto Yorkie, but it's headed away by Zach Sharp. And despite being quite a short player, he's doing quite well involving all these set pieces. But it's Mitchell down this left-hand channel, trying to thread a ball in. But Tarbuck clears it, and Rafa Ramos might be able to break it. Rafa, he's got Jake Cope in front of him. Will he switch it? And he does switch it, but it's just too heavy hit from the Portuguese. But Jake Cope, he's not going to let it run out of play. Jake Cope passing it back into Kavanagh. Kavanagh, he's got Tarbuck going into the box, but he chooses to pass it back into Corey Jordan. Bit of a wasted opportunity there, but Gosport's still on the ball. Jordan passing it out wide into Kavanagh. Kavanagh into Tarbuck. Tarbuck trying to dance his way into the box. He does deliver a ball, but it's been hit away by Yorkie, and it's gone out for another Gosport throw-in just by the corner flag, the right corner flag. So it's going to be Kavanagh with this throw-in. Jake Coate running towards him. And Kavanagh just choosing to do a fake throw-in there before eventually throwing one to Rafa Ramos. Rafa on the ball to Kavanagh. Kavanagh coming down this right-hand channel, nipping past his man and delivering across into the feet of Dan Wooden inside the box. Dan Wooden trying to get a shot across, but has found the feet of Ibrahim, who sticks in a good boot. And as I do say that, Danny Hollins has been injured outside of the box, but play has resumed. Christian Campbell going. And now he does blow up, despite Gosport working out an attack. I believe it was just a clash of heads there between Danny Hollins and Hell. A lot of Gosport fans unhappy with that decision, as both physios now working their way onto the pitch.
Yeah, look, the referee needs to start getting a grip of this game and quickly. I loathe criticising match officials, but I'm afraid Mr. Hawks is losing his hold on this. That was obvious to me what happened there. But yeah, you've got players from both sides down now needing treatment, and I've just seen, in fact, that Chesham have gone 2-0 up against Tottenham, so that's good news for Gosport. That helps because Tottenham obviously occupying the last place.
Well, I think if we're being honest, Chesham at this point they've already won the league.
Well, yeah, but they've got to get across that line.
I think it would take a large slip if they wanted to lose it now. But still, there's another place up for grabs involved in this promotion battle. Let's just hope it's going to be Gosport when it comes this time at the end of the season.
Winchester 3, Poole 0.
Wow.
It just shows you they are a dangerous team, and they're next up here in a couple of weeks.
Well, Paul, they're one of those annoying teams for Gosport, aren't
Yeah.
they? They took all 6 points, but then they can't win against any other teams by the looks of it.
Well,
It's just typical, isn't
they've
it?
always been a bit of a bogey side for us, I'm afraid, and that hasn't changed this season. They've doubled us. That's that.
Well, I have found it interesting. I was just watching down near the dugouts, and yeah, I have seen both Pat, Joe, and even Mark Summerhill just talking to the official. Just, I wonder what they're saying. Oh yeah, Craig is coming to the press room, so we'll find out the attendance in a minute. And Danny Hollins is up and well now.
Pretty good.
And I'm not sure if you just heard that. We can confirm the attendance is 925, which is brilliant for this kind of game. That's not a bad attendance at all.
No, it's very good. Just shy of 1,000.
Well, it helps definitely with Pompey not playing at home.
Yeah.
But, well, it's things you love to see at this level at non-league. And the Gosport fans still acting as our 12th man, currently chanting just the usual Borough chant it is at the moment. But it's Zach Sharp on the ball, and let's hope Gosport can give the fans another goal to cheer about. As Roy Williams lifts the ball into Rafa Ramos, but it's headed away by Yorkie. And now it's Taller onto the ball. And Taller just booting Danny Hollins in the ankle. And I feel bad for Danny Hollins. He's just constantly been on the floor. And this time the referee does pluck a yellow out of his pocket, giving it to number 8, Taller. Well, I must say it is deserved. But yeah, Danny Hollins, he's definitely going to be feeling the injuries tomorrow. Still hobbling from the past injuries. May have to be taken off soon if it does keep going like this. Maybe replace him for Harvey Roux. But Gosport, Gosport, they have got a free kick now, around 25 yards from goal. Once again, it would be quite ambitious if they did want to take a shot from here, but they will still have a lot of men inside of the wall. I believe there could be 5 men inside of the Harrow wall. Although I have just noticed Harry Kavanagh, he has gone down to the right-hand channel, so maybe they may be looking to pass it to him. But
I've just given them something else to think about there, James. I have a feeling.
But-
Where's the ball? I'm just thinking who. Can't actually see the ball.
Is it a spot the ball?
It's right behind it was right behind the pillar, which is in my line
Yeah.
of sight. So it's hard to see it.
I was going to say, I can kind of see it if I'm being honest. I think it could be Christian Campbell by the looks of it. He's going to be taking it. Either him or Jake Cope. Campbell does take it, but it's drilled straight into the wall. Now Campbell passes it back into Roy Williams. Williams lifting the ball forward into Harry Kavanagh down this right-hand channel. He's got Mitchell with a charge down, but he delivers a pass into Tarbuck. Kavanagh back to Corey Jordan. Jordan now marching forward. Switching it out wide into Kavanagh once again. Kavanagh this time delivering across. And it has worked its way onto Danny Hollins, who goes for a half volley and smashes it so high. From that range, why don't you just go for accuracy over power? Not his finest strike there from the veteran.
Yeah, I'll be disappointed with that, but didn't have a lot of change coming.
And there will be a change for Gosport. It will be Harvey Roux coming on, and I would imagine it could be for Harry Kavanagh.
Let's have a look. Jake Cope. Ladies and gentlemen, Gosport Borough substitution. Coming on number 8, Harvey Roux. Replacing number 14, Jake Cope.
And Jacob just getting a round of applause there as he does come off the pitch. It will be Harvey Roux coming on for him. Jacob, he's had a pretty good game, if I'm being honest. And to be fair, since joining Gosport, he's looked a solid signing, if I'm being honest. He's been a good player.
Yes, he hasn't really put a foot wrong since
No.
he's joined from Sholing. Although Harrow aren't done with us yet.
Well, the referee has blown up for a Gosport foul. I believe it could have been because of the foul on Corey Jordan there. Mitchell just tugging his shirt. So just give.
Still a bit of shirt pulling, I think, going on there. But yes, let's have a look at the positive of the crowd, which I'll announce to the crowd.
Yeah.
Set the next suitable stoppage. So yeah, it's fantastic. You looked around the ground till kickoff and you thought to yourself, this is 8 or 900. And
Oh, exactly. Well, I would imagine. I wasn't here last season, but I could imagine it's quite a big juxtaposition
gone
from
up.
last season.
Gone
Yeah,
up.
massively.
we were getting gates of around 500 last season, but we're getting them consistently around the 8 or 900 mark this year. And should, this is a very big if, Gosport get promoted, we would like to see that increase again next year.
But still, 8 more games. Well, I would imagine 8 more games left. I can't remember if that's the right number or not. It's around that margin anyway. So still a lot of games left to play in the Southern Premier League. But can Gosport take home the 3 points here as it's still 1-0 Gosport? The ball has been smashed forward into the Gosport half. Currently, Deacon's trying to chase it down. As he does go down, he does push Jordan to the floor. The referee does give a foul for Gosport. And maybe Deacon just lucky there to escape without a yellow card.
Yeah, off the ball, shoves him full in the back with 2 hands. Yeah, I should say.
Well, the referee, he's not had the greatest second half, has he?
No, afraid not. And like I said, I absolutely loathe criticising the officials because they do a tough job. But
Yeah, it's one of the hardest jobs within football, I must say.
But yeah, no, he's not done a fantastic job this half.
Well, as I do say that, Harrow, they have won themselves a throw-in. It's going to be Tutton with the throw-in, launching one forward. But Harry Kavanagh gets on the end of it as he does head it forward into Harvey Roux. And that's a poor pass from the former Pompey midfielder as it does go out. It's going to be Tutton once again taking the throw-in. Just telling all the players to move forward. And we have seen constantly his long throw-ins. As he's once again trying to pick out Deacon, but has trickled its way back to Mitchell. Deacon now putting a ball into the middle, but Toby Stewart just coming out and collecting it well. And he does pass one forward, trying to find the run of Harvey Roux, but just a bit ambitious there. And instead, Harrow can get back on the end of it. Hell coming down this right-hand channel, tossing and turning and doing well just to thread a ball into Tugwell. Tug now with the pass. He does try and get one into Yorkie, the defender who has come upfield. But Hell, it's gone back into the right-hand channel as Hell has it. Now to Gertine. Back to Ibrahim. Ibrahim delivering across. Finds the head of Jordan as he clears it out, but the threat is still not properly dealt with. But now it is thanks to Dutchy Hollins. And
sorry, James. I just wanted to say Harrow having their best spell of the game for me, and they are now starting to put Gosport under sustained pressure, which is not something they've managed to do thus far. So this is going to show and test Gosport's character.
Well, Gertine on the ball, heading one forward, trying to find the run of Deacon. But Jordan just letting one run here. And it will be Gosport thrown. And a couple of the Gosport fans now getting agitated. And it's probably because, I was going to say, we haven't really had any chances in this second half. We seem, once we get a goal, we kind of defend it, don't we? We don't really go attacking after that. Which I find, it's a bit disappointing.
Yeah, I think after the first half we should have possibly been 2 or 3 goals to the good. But 1 is always dangerous. I believe a 2-0 lead is even more dangerous. But that said, Gosport do need that second goal now just to take the pressure off just a little bit.
And Campbell has just fouled Mitchell down by the right-hand channel, just near the Harry Mitson stand, 15 yards out from the Gosport goal. Campbell, he is going to have a talking to with the referee. It doesn't look as though he's going to pluck out a yellow.
Again,
just a talking to.
And it was clumsy, I'm afraid, I've got to say. Referee had no option there, but what that will allow is a free kick to be delivered into the mixer in the penalty area, and Gosport have more work to do.
Well, it's going to be Tutton with the free kick. Campbell once again in one-man wall. And I'm just watching out for the back post, especially the runs of Mitchell, Deacon, and seeing what they can do. As the ball so far, it's constantly worked to those sorts of players. But who knows, maybe Harrow might be able to change it up this time. Tutton with a free kick aimed at that back post. And it did find Gertine, but Gertine just collides with the advertising board. And another player who's gone into the advertising board
limping
and
too.
taken a nick.
He's limping. He's taken a hit on that advertising board. Yeah, he's trying to run it off, but there was quite a noticeable limp there.
Well, we saw it with Excellence and Bumba in the first half. So the Harrow players, they're clearly not having much fun at this ground.
Well, yeah, but this game's still in the balance for me, especially as the momentum shifted the other way. Yeah, dangerous times for Gosport. They need to try and rediscover that drive for the first sort of 45 minutes.
Well, ideally, we do really need to be taking home the 3 points today if we do want to still be aiming for that second position spot.
Especially with the fact that the other results are all going our way. 3 points are an absolute must from this.
Well,
But
Sharp is
Harrow
clearing
making a
one
change.
forward, finding Rue in the centre of the park, and as Jeremy just alluded to, Harrow will be making a change. But Harrow might be able to get a goal back just before that change. As it's Excellence and Bemba coming down this right-hand channel, passing it into Ibrahim. Ibrahim dancing his way past Rue and passing it back to Mbemba. Now Tutton, still just being played around this right-hand corner flag. Now Ibrahim. It's been switched out wide into Mitchell, and that's a clumsy first touch from Mitchell there, as it is a heavy first touch. But he still does well enough just to kick it out, make sure it doesn't go out for a goal kick. And I would imagine the Harrow players are just going to stay quite heavy with this possession. And it looks as though they're not going to make the change beforehand either.
No, they're definitely getting one ready, but that was clever play there because he sort of prevented the goal kick and allowed Harrow to keep Gosport boxed in.
Well, it was quick thinking there from Mitchell, and Gertine doing well enough just to get ahead on it from the Gosport throw-in. And Harrow just launching balls constantly forward, trying to get into the Gosport box. And now it's Excellence and Bumba heading one back into Deacon before Danny Hollins can eventually head it out. Now Hell still on outside of the Gosport box. Now Christian Campbell might be able to run forward and get rid of this Gosport pressure. But Hell winning it back off of Christian Campbell. And just constantly fighting those two players. It's been a good battle, I must say, between Campbell and Hell this second half.
Yeah, good individual battle over on that far side. Here comes the change.
And we can see the change now. It's going to be 14. So 14 is Nallo. But who will Nallo be coming on for? A ball once again being fed through into Excellence and Bumba. But that wasn't exactly an excellent run, I must say. As Toby Stewart throws one forward into Harry Kavanagh down this right-hand channel. Kavanagh now inside of the Harrow box to Tarbach. Quick football being played. Tiki-taka play. Kavanagh down this right-hand channel still. Around 10 yards out from goal, but he's been dispossessed. And Harrow might be able to launch a counter-attack here with Gertine launching the ball forward and doing well to find the run of Mbumba. Mbumba just on the edge of the box, passing it into Mitchell, the left side of him. Mitchell now working himself into the box and beating Rory Williams, but Rory Williams has to slide, get down low and make sure it goes out for a corner rather than being able to deliver a pass into the middle.
Coming now, so we'll have to see what's going to happen.
What? No, they're going to let it take the corner first. It's going to be Tutton once again with the corner. Maybe it does allude they're going to be taking off one of their defenders, one of their taller players. So maybe it does give us a slight indication of who might be coming off. But it's going to be Tutton. Hit towards the near post this time, finding a run of Gertine, but it's been smacked wide.
Here we go.
And the substitute has been made. It's going to be Tala coming off for Nalla.
Ladies and gentlemen, Harrow substitution. Coming on number 14 is Sahid Nallo, replacing number 8, Lonit Tala.
Once again, it's another attacking change for Harrow. Nallo coming on. Well, let's see what this substitute can do involving a game. Will he mark his impact? Will he be able to get a goal for the away side? Maybe win back a point for Harrow? Maybe even snatch the 3 points? Still a long time left in this game as it is. Gosport 1, Harrow 0. Gosport still battling within their half. Gertine smashing one forward, trying to find Deacon, but it's headed out by Zach Sharp, only as far as Ibrahim. Ibrahim into Mitchell down this left-hand channel. Mitchell doing well. And Tutton. And Gosport, they have finally won back a ball. Harvey Rue delivering another hard-hit pass into Rafa Ramos. And I must say, since Harvey Rue's come on, he hasn't exactly looked his finest form, has he? A shadow of his former self at the start of the season, and even at the start of the game, he did get a bit of a boo when he was announced. So yeah, it's a bit of a funny involving. Harrow. Well, I don't know what the point of that was involving that fan and Christine Campbell. I think that may have been a Harrow fan that just chucking the ball away from Christine Campbell as he did jump into the stands to collect it. But Gosport on the attack from that throw in, only for a bit as Mitchell dispossesses him. Now Harrow there sprinting forward, coming back in numbers. Mitchell down this left-hand channel, and he's had an excellent game in this second half. Mitchell dancing his way past Kavanagh, but he can't get past Tarbuck. But still, the heavy touch from the deflection does get it forward into, well, Mitchell once again. Mitchell this time putting a low-driven pass in. But Tarbuck dispossesses the player, and it has been cleared. Maybe Rafa Ramos can get on the end of it and maybe finally create a chance for Gosport in the second half. It's Christine Campbell who swung forward, may be able to connect with the run of Dan Wooden, but it's been headed out by Ibrahim. Now Mitchell hoping to chase it down. Nallo now on the ball, the substitute.
Got a change coming from Gosport. I see Pat and Joe are literally just weighing up their options, so I think they're going to be making a change. They've got to.
Well, I was going to say, we're looking at Paulin.
They're as bad this half as they were good in the first. Harrow are right on top of them here at the moment,
and Mitchell has been brought down by Kavanagh there. Play has resumed, and I'm surprised there hasn't been a free kick. And it has now been awarded, but it's been given as a Gosport free kick. And a yellow's been given to Mitchell. And you've got to feel for the Harrow player there. How on earth has he been given a free kick? Speaking from a Gosport media, man, I don't understand how Mitchell personally has been given a yellow nor a free kick. And you can see Mitchell just laughing it off there, and well, he couldn't have really done too much unless he said something to the referee when being dispossessed there.
That's the only thing I can think it could be. That's the only thing.
But even then, he's got a right to appeal. Yeah, and as we do say that, yeah,
appeal, but don't go off.
But Kavanagh, he's gone down as well within the central circle, and it looks as though he's suffering with a bit of cramp now. Nallo currently helping him.
Let's get the attendance out. Oh, hang on. Change.
Well, before you do, there will be a change, and we're just about to see who's coming on. It's going to be Sam Hookie coming on, and it's going to be Kavanagh coming off. And I would imagine that is just because of a bit of tired legs there.
Number 2, Harry Kavanagh.
Well, there has been a substitute, like we just said there. Harry Kavanagh working his way off of the pitch, and Sam Hookie coming on. And Gosport, they've won a bizarre free kick, which Toby Stewart's going to be taken. Gosport still, they can't not be happy with the free kick. A blessing in disguise, perhaps. Maybe we can even work something from this free kick. As a Toby Stewart ball has been worked its way onto Dan Wooden before passing it into Rafa Ramos. Now Ramos switches it out wide into Christine Campbell. Campbell hit a ball across to the goal deck, and only as far as Harvey Rue has been dispossessed once again. But Gosport winning it back thanks to Corey Jordan. Corey Jordan passing it into the centre of the park into substitute Sam Hookie, who's just entered the pitch. Zach Sharp passing it back into Toby Stewart. And it's Deacon with heavy pressure. And Toby Stewart just originally stuttering the ball there and nearly losing it to Deacon. And that could have been a bit of a catastrophe there from Gosport. And Zach Sharp once again clearing it, and it nearly smacks one of the nearly smacking Joe Morrison, the injured player. That would not have been good.
Attendance at the AEI Stadium this afternoon is 905. A fantastic turnout. Thank you very much.
And as you just heard there from Jeremy, the attendance is 905, which is incredible at this level. Not many Southern League teams can produce such an attendance like that, but it's once again proven the Gosport faithful.
Yeah, there's obviously the majority of them are Gosport supporters. So Harrow have probably brought a handful down, but the enthusiasm around the club at the moment is just building and building and building.
Well, Gosport on the attack. It was Dan Wooden who put a pass into Harvey Rue, but Harvey Rue loses it. And Harrow on the attack. Nella on it. And Corey Jordan just doing well, just to stick a foot in and win it back for Gosport. Now Dan Wooden in the Harrow half. He hasn't got too many players in front of him as he switches it out wide into Christine Campbell. Campbell marching forward. He's got multiple yellow bodies inside of the box. And Campbell doing step overs now inside of the Harrow box. But it's a good sliding challenge there from Yorkie as it does go out for a Gosport corner. And I will run you through some of the results after this corner. But it's going to be a Gosport corner. Christine Campbell taking it. Let's see what Gosport can do here from this corner.
That's good news.
And it's fizzled all the way back to Dan Wooden, but Yorkie's the man who gets his head on it. Still just flirting with the Harrow half. Unsure whether it's going to... Yeah. Well, it's Tarbuck delivering the ball forward into Corey Jordan. Jordan outside of the box. Jordan with a deep ball in, finding the head of Dan Wooden. Just too much power on the cross as it goes over the heads of both attackers there, Dan Wooden and Harvey Rue. And unlucky not to make any contact there between the attackers.
Looks like Harrow are gearing up for their third and final change. Be interesting to see who and why. But that's going to come imminently.
Well, they are holding the scoreboard
well,
now, so yeah.
So that's how I knew that it's coming. But yeah.
And the ball has been far hit now. A ball which Excellence and Mbemba might be able to chase down, but Rory Williams just jumping it up and winning the ball back for Gosport. Now Jordan marching forward. He's got Tarbuck to the right of him, and he does choose that option. Tarbuck coming forward, working himself past Nalla. But I just have to pass it back to Corey Jordan. And Tarbuck just looking a bit frustrated there as no one was in front of him. Now the ball just being played in the central circle. Back to Roy Williams. Now Christine Campbell to Hollins in the centre of the park. Hollins chipping the ball forward into the run of Rafa Ramos. Rafa battling with Yorkie there. And the referee blows otherwise. And I would imagine Rafa might be getting a yellow just for the frustration shown as he kicked the ball away. And there will be a substitution here made for Harrow, their third and final substitution. And it's going to be 4. So it's going to be Tutton coming off, and it's going to be 17 coming on. So who's 17? Cameron coming on.
Yeah, I don't think it's going to happen just yet because the play is going to move on. Oh, no, it is going to happen.
Well, that is the substitution made. And as the substitution is occurring, I'm going to run you through some of the Southern League results. Beaconsfield 2, Dorchester 4, which is a staggering result since we last looked at it. Chesham United 2, AFC Tottenham 0. And that does look as though that game is over. So that game does favour us. Still 1-0 here at the AEI Stadium thanks to a Bradley Tarbuck goal. Hanwell 0, Bracknell 1, Hungerford 1, Tiverton 1. The Plymouth Parkway game against Hayes and Yedden has been postponed. Salisbury 0, Merthyr 0, Swindon Supermarine 0, Hendon 0, Walton and Hersham 3, Didcot 2, and Winchester 3, Pooltown 0. And it does look as though that game has now finished. And I would imagine there's around 10 minutes left to play here at the AEI Stadium. Gosport still just hanging on to a 1-0 lead as Dan Wooden does chip a ball forward into the run of Rafa Ramos. And despite Rafa Ramos having his shirt showed, well, Ibrahim, he grabbed hold of Rafa Ramos' shirt, couldn't get run as a result of it, and the referee just didn't seem to notice it and hasn't blown for a free kick.
Yeah, I hate to say it, but the referee has lost control of the game, but he's not seeing the key moments that he needs to see. And that's both ways. You know, you look back at the Harrow booking for Mitchell, which I thought was completely unjustified. So you're not wearing your yellow and blue tinted specs.
Well, Hollins has chipped the ball into the run of Rafa Ramos, but the flag has gone off for offside. And this is where you need VAR at this level, as I'm sure that would have not overrun that decision. Rafa Ramos, he would have been through on goal there, but once again, it's referee.
Frustrating, but there it is.
Yeah, just one of those things, really. Well, I'm not even sure it looked too offside, if I'm being completely honest. It was a good ball from Hollins, exactly.
It was frustrating.
Well, Gosport, if they do want to win, they're going to have to weather these conditions.
Yeah, look, they've got 6 minutes to go plus stoppages. They're 1-0 up. They've been under the cosh for literally the whole of the second half. They've just started to break out a little bit, James, but Harrow have had the better of this second half.
Oh, they've been the much better side in the second half, if I'm being completely honest.
I mean, you've got to give Gosport due. They've held out, they've defended resiliently, but you would wonder that how much is sort of what's the word I'm looking for? Tempting fate.
Well, if Gosport do win, it will be 13 points from the last 24. 4 wins, 1 draw, 3 losses, and that is if it stays the way it is. So let's hope Gosport can keep hold of this 1-0 lead. As Harrow come forward once again, Hill heading the ball forward. Campbell does tumble to the floor, but it has gone out for a Harrow throw-in. It's going to be Gertine taking the throw-in. We've seen him launch numerous throws into the Gosport box from this kind of distance, around 25 yards out from goal. And it looks as though he's going to do exactly that again today, as all the Harrow players are working themselves into the Gosport box with just 3 players inside of their own half. Gertine with the throw, launching a deep one, and has found the head of Yorkie. And now it's fizzled outside, just outside of the Gosport box, as Mitchell switches it out wide back into Gertine. Gertine with a long distance cross and finding the head. It has gone out, like Jeremy said, but in the end, the attack still didn't come to anything, as the volley from Cameron just went into the hands of Toby Stewart. Quite a cool save from the young keeper.
Well, we got 4 minutes to go, and it's still Gosport 1, Harrow 0. I'll tell you what, James, if Gosport do hang on to this, then yeah,
It's a big win.
It's job done. But I think the old saying would be, it ain't pretty, but it'll do.
Yeah. Well, it's like Arsenal back in the day during the Invincible seasons. 1-0 to the Arsenal.
That's George Gray.
Exactly.
Yeah, that is.
Well, 1-0 to the Borough. But it's going to be Tarbuck taking a throw just on the halfway line. Tarbuck throwing one forward into Dan Wooden, but he can't get on the end of it. And Rafa, he tries to escape his man with Yorkie, and he is brought to the floor. And as a result, the referee is getting out his yellow card, and he will be booking the Harrow skipper. And it gives... not yet, I don't think. Not Yorkie. But as a result, Gosport will be given a free kick around 25 yards out from goal. Let's see what Gosport can do. It's going to be Tarbuck, the man I would imagine taking it. Either him or Danny Hollins, the man currently holding the ball. Just a one-man wall. It's going to be NATO, the man who's in the wall. Panjo just giving the instructions from the touchline here. And I wonder what they're saying currently to the players. Maybe just go all out.
No, I think they need to use this chance to try and get that second goal. And I think at this stage, the second goal would make the game safe, I think. Don't tempt fate, but if you look at the pattern of the play and the way the game's developed, if Gosport were to get a second at this stage, that should be safe.
Well, there's not too many Gosport players currently inside of their box.
Well, no,
well 5 back,
home.
exactly.
Yeah.
And it is a short free kick taken, passed into Danny Hollins. And Danny Hollins nearly immediately losing it as he is brought to the floor by Nalla there. And instead, Harrow are working their way into their Gosport half. Nalla coming forward, escaping the run of Harvey Roux, and still running forward, but he has been dispossessed there by Bradley Tarbuck as he tries to chip one forward into the run of Rafa Ramos, but it's just too hard hit there, as it will go out for another Harrow throw-in. Gertine taking it.
2 minutes to go. The clock's running down now.
Well, the question is, how many minutes will be added on?
We haven't had that much this half, have we?
No.
There's been no major injuries, so it shouldn't be a great deal.
I could see 3. I think 3, yeah.
That's a foul as well.
And Danny Hollins, he's just been elbowed in the face there, holding his face, and he's still on the floor. The referee has blown up for it, and I'm not sure if he's bleeding there.
I actually think that when the referee goes home, he might ponder this one and just think to himself, I've had better games, because I'm not sure. From this angle, I don't know. There was contact to Holland's face. Whether it was an elbow, I don't know. I didn't see. But it was a foul. There was some sort of contact to the face. That is a foul.
Well, play has resumed. I will imagine it will be a drop kick. Yeah, it's going to be a drop kick by the looks of it.
Yeah, I think I've just seen 3 indicated to this side.
Yeah.
So, and we are now in the 45th minute of this game, of this half, the 90th minute. So, yeah.
But still, Gosport 1, Harrow Borough 0. And as I do say that, Harrow are on the attack. Hell trying to win the ball off of Christian Campbell, but Campbell coming off successful there and winning Gosport a goal kick. And I was going to say, we still haven't seen a board yet come up.
Yeah, well, we're in the 45th minute of the half, so it will be imminent.
Well, let's just hope Gosport can hold out. And we can confirm it will be 3 minutes added on. So 3 minutes for Gosport to hold on to this victory.
3 minutes.
I would imagine that should be, well, it's probably the amount of time you did want from the staff. It's realistic amount of time. Exactly. And it should be enough to hold on. Well, we've held on for the last 45 minutes.
That's there, my friend. But it will serve as a bit of a kick up the bum for Harrow because they think, right, we've got 3 minutes to force a result now. Gosport, I think, at this point, we purred over that first half performance, but now here we are about an hour later, and we're thinking if they do hang on to win this, then they're actually a little bit lucky, in my opinion.
Well, how do Gosport weather this storm? How
Well, they
did
just
we
now
go
got
for
to be
another goal?
sensible. Be sensible. Just don't do anything rash. Don't do anything stupid. Get your decision making right, and just try and keep them at bay.
Well, Gertine with another long throw in, but this time finding the head of Danny Hollins. And Rafa Ramos, he's marching forward and escaping numerous Harrow players, and he's still going, just working himself into the Harrow half. And this is a lovely run here from the Portuguese, but still no options in front of him, and it does force him to pass it back into Danny Hollins. And we're back in the Gosport half.
Well, as long as they keep the ball, it doesn't matter. At this point, we've nearly had one of those 3 added minutes. At this point, as long as you're in possession, the other team aren't. I know it's very basic,
Yeah.
but that's what Gosport need to keep in mind at the moment. Keep ball.
Well, I'm sure many Gosport fans around the stadium will be having nightmares of additional time. It's never really been our favourite time of the game this season, has it?
Leads this season in stoppage time, and that's minute 1 of 3 down. Got about
2 left to play.
Yeah, just under now.
Gosport's still currently in Harrow's half before Gertine can eventually launch one forward, trying to find Cameron, who's chasing it down, and he's going to get on the end of it, but it's good defending there from Corey Jordan, who, as a result, does take a nick as he does block the shot. Rather than hitting the ball, Cameron does smash the defender's leg, and he is feeling it. Yeah. I believe Gosport, do we have another change left? Or
they have one more if they would like it, but I don't see there's any point now with just over 1 minute of the stoppage time period left. There's absolutely no point in making it, in my opinion.
But yeah, that would be nice. Well, it's Gertine with the throw and trying to find Mitchell, but instead finding Hell, who turns from his man. But Danny Hollins gets on the end of the turn as he clears one over the Harry Mitson stand. Another ball has been put in play here, and it's just killing those precious seconds, but I'm sure the referee's still adding on those seconds.
I mean, there's no point doing silly things like that. Gosport just knocked the ball onto the pitch rather than whacked it over the far side, but less than a minute left of the 3.
Well, Gertine with another long throw in. This one finding Deacon, and it's just fizzling around in this Gosport box before 5 can eventually launch one as it just goes on to the top of the goal.
That should be, James, their last chance. Should be, unless he's added any more time on.
Well,
we've got about
exactly
20 seconds of added time left now. So by the time Stewart tees up the goal kick and gets the ball in the air,
that should be the end.
That should be it. But has the referee added any more on?
Well, he has just looked at his watch, so it will now all be down to the referee. It's going to be Toby Stewart. Let's hope it's going to be his last goal kick. Still, Gosport 1, Harrow 0.
That's your 3 minutes.
3 minutes now has been played. It's all down to the referee. And maybe Harrow do have one last attack left in them. Gertine taking the long throw and trying to find Cameron, but it has been headed away. Nala hitting the ball into Deacon, trying to find Hell, but it's gone all the way back to Campbell. But no, Hell's got back on the end of it. Passing it into Nallo. Nallo on the attack. Finding Gertine. Gertine goes wide with Mitchell. Mitchell just entering the Gosport box. Teeing up Gertine, who smashes one over the Gosport bar. And surely that's it. And the referee has blown his final whistle as it finishes here at the AI Stadium. Gosport 1, Harrow Borough 0. Well, the goal came in the first half thanks to a goal from Tarbuck. It was Jordan with a brilliant ball into the Harrow half. And ultimately, Tarbuck, he teed up the finish. It was a cool, calm finish from the winger. And ultimately, that's what has won us the game here at the AEI Stadium. And Jeremy, in the end, it was a hard-fought battle, but it's given us the 3 points.
Now, where do we start with that? Yes, 3 points were achieved. That's the main thing. But they made hard work of that. You've got to give Harrow their due. They came out in the second half. They were positive. They came at Gosport. They did their best to get back in the game then. The best of the second half. They might feel they didn't make the most of that pressure, but Gosport have held on to get the points. That's the important bit. that first half performance won the game.
Well, I'll run you through some of the results at the moment. There was a 7-goal thriller today in the Southern Premier League. Beaconsfield 3, Dorchester Town 4. And I wonder if one of our former players, Johnny Yefeji, was on the score sheet. So I'll have to look at that when we get back. Cheshire United 2, AFC Tottenham 0, which is a massive result for us.
Look at this.
And then Hanwell 1, Bracknell 1.
Here's the next one.
Hungerford 1, Tiverton Town 2.
That's a biggie.
Especially in the playoff battle.
Yeah, and that Hungerford are denting their playoff ambitions.
Salisbury 0, Merthyr Town 0. That's arguably our biggest one.
That's a good one for us.
And looking at the rest of them, it's Swindon Supermarine 0, Hendon 1. That doesn't really affect us. Walton and Hersham 3, Didcot 2. And Winchester Town 3, Poole Town 0, which is another fairly shock result. But no, overall, I have to admit, those results favour us, don't they, in the grand scheme of things?
Very, very favourable results, because that means we've cut Salisbury's lead. And that means, I'm just going to do the maths quickly, James, because I think, doesn't that cut it down to 2 points?
I believe it does, yeah.
They're on 6. Salisbury now on 66, we're on 64. So yeah, we've cut it to 2, both on the same number of games played. Tottenham, because they've lost, are on 56. Merthyr are now on 56 also. And Walton and Hersham, did they not win today?
They didn't win today, no.
So they've lost ground, because they were on 52.
Yeah, they were just edging towards that playoff spot, weren't they?
So really not a lot changed in the main, in
Nah.
the bigger picture. Only the Gosport have cut that lead down to 2. That's the important thing.
Well, like I said, it has finished here, and it was a hard-earned victory. We go against Didcot next week, but final words from us, up the borough.